job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Let's go, Archer. Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer!
Beers to the beach.
Thank you, Archer!
They look thirsty down there in the outback, Archer.
We'll all be.
Thank you, Archer!
Yeah!
Good boy, Archer.
Saturday night at Vidicon Stadium. Oh, what a beautiful night for baseball. And it's round 4 of the ABL season. And this is the wrap-up game of this series, game number 4. And the Brisbane Bandits go for a sweep of the Canberra Cavalry. I'm Ken Wilson along with CJ Barnes. We welcome you. We have a huge crowd on hand. The lineups being exchanged at home plate. The two skippers and the umpires. And I think we're going to be in for an evening of excitement, CJ.
Absolutely, Ken. After a big win and sealing off the series win for the Bandits this afternoon, they go into tonight's game looking for the sweep, and they are in a great position to do so. Big Brian Fitzpatrick stepping onto the mound for the Brisbane Bandits, and some hot bats stepping into their lineup.
And the Bandits take the field. They've won 4 in a row, 8 of 9, and 9 of their last 11. And they come into action this evening in second place in the Australian Baseball League, only 1 game behind the league-leading Adelaide Giants. So the left-hander, Brian Fitzpatrick, will see what he can do with this club from Canberra, a team that has won 3 and lost 11. They are obviously in the cellar. But Fitzpatrick this evening going for his second win of the season.
Fitzpatrick has been outstanding so far. He had a bit of a rough go down in Adelaide to start off the season. But since then, he has been just lights out. Sydney shut them down, kept them to a 143 average, didn't give up any runs. Last weekend in Melbourne, again, no runs given up. He is finding his groove, and he is on fire right now.
Here's the lineup that he'll face. Leading off in center field for Canberra is Andrew Moritz. Then the shortstop, Min Park. Corey Acton hits third and plays third. The catcher tonight is Junpai Azuma hitting cleanup, followed by the left fielder, Harry Fullerton. Then Jack Berry, the Canberra first baseman. Hitting seventh, the DH, Cam Tilley. The Cavalry second baseman and eighth hitter is Jalen Greer. And the ninth batter is the veteran right fielder, Michael Campbell. So walking up to the plate is Andrew Moritz. The plate umpire is Adam Leake. Tom West, the arbiter at first base. Paul Latta at second. And James Shields is the umpire at third base. The sun is below the horizon. Hardly a cloud or two in the sky. And what a crowd we have on hand. We're glad you're with us. Andrew Moritz will lead it off. And Fitzpatrick's first pitch, fastball, strike one. Moritz in game one had a home run among 2 for 4. He's 2 out of 12 in the first 3 games of the series, hitting .255. And he lashes one off to the left and out of play. And quickly, Brian Fitzpatrick is ahead with a 2-strike count.
And that's what Shane Watson, manager of the Brisbane Bandits, wants to see out of Brian Fitzpatrick is those early strikes. His one struggle outing was down in Adelaide. He had trouble finding the strike zone, gave up a few walks. Those turned into runs. Past 2 outings, that hasn't been the case. Looking to do that again tonight.
The 1-2 pitch is slammed to center field. Rushford covers that territory, and he makes the catch. 1 up, 1 down, and we are underway here at Vidicon Stadium.
Brian Fitzpatrick got away with one a little bit there, about a belt-high fastball, but Moritz not able to get enough of it. Rushford, easy play down there in center.
Stepping in is the Cavalry shortstop, Min Park. He was 0 for 3 in the opening game. He's 2 out of 11 in the series, and the fastball buried in there, strike 1. Min, out of Japan, coming in hitting 160, 1 home run, 1 RBI. Here's a tapper to third, gobbled up by Fritsch, on to Hall, 2 up and 2 down. So a good start for Brian Fitzpatrick.
Thing I like about Brian Fitzpatrick right now, and Canberra is a very aggressive team at the plate, but he's being very efficient, not throwing many balls, only 1 there to Andrew Moritz. Saw the same thing from Connor McDonald earlier today. 5 1/3 innings, was very efficient in his outing.
Here is Corey Acton, third baseman, hitting 292, and he cracks one to left. Gliding back is Campbell to make the catch. So Soupy wraps it up, and Fitzpatrick has a very strong first inning. 1, 2, 3, and after half an inning here in Brisbane, it's the Cavalry nothing and the Bandits coming up.
Welcome to Ace Comms, two-way radio and body-worn camera specialists. Ace Comms is proudly the Australian distributor for Motorola Solutions. Ace Comms was formed in 1988 in South Africa and has grown into a premier wireless communications technologies distributor. With a primary focus on Motorola Solutions, we also supply a wide variety of leading radio communications brands. We welcome the opportunity to discuss our partner network opportunity with you. Leverage off the high-demand wireless comms industry and let Ace Comms empower your business to grow.
Yo, up the middle, another base hit. On Sunday, now he banks one to right field. 2. Yo's back. At the track he got it. Pump and the fire. Struck him out swinging.
Brett Sports, the official equipment partner of the Brisbane Bandits.
The Cavalry go in order in the top of the first. Now their right-hander, Wan Bin Hong, will go to work. Here's the lineup as you watch Hong. The Bandits will lead it off with center fielder Milo Rushford, then Dermot Fritsch at third. Logan Wade playing a couple games out of the 4, starting in this one in the third slot in the order at shortstop. Then the catcher Ryan Booth Battaglia, left fielder Soupy Campbell. Hitting 6th is Alex Skepton, the right fielder. Then the big hitting star so far, first baseman Tayden Hall. The DH is Luke Smith, an 18-year-old who played his first ABL game here this afternoon. And batting 9th for the Bandits, playing second base, is Will Riley.
Wan Bin Hong on for his 4th time this season with Canberra. Hasn't had a lot of success, posting a 7.27 ERA, only 8 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 7 earned runs, 8 strikeouts, 8 walks. Brisbane will be looking to take advantage of it here.
Rushford leads off, and there's ball 1. Milo is 1 for 8 in the series. He was 0 for 2 this afternoon. His batting average is 192, no home runs, 1 RBI here in the ABL. He chops this one foul down the first baseline. One thing about Rushford, he does get on base a bit. despite his hitting hasn't been what he'd like it to be. He has walked 9 times in the first 15 games, not always hitting leadoff. In fact, in the opening game this afternoon, he batted in the 7th slot. He chops this one, though. The pitcher grabs it. Good play, and the throw to first is in time. Nice grab by Wan Bin Hong, and there's one away here in the Bandits' first.
I dare say if Wan Bin Hong hadn't managed to snag that one out of the air, that would have been an infield single for Rushford. He runs very well. That one slips past, and I don't think it would have been much hope to get him.
Here is the Bandits' third baseman, who's having a very strong season, Dermot Fritsch, hitting .302 with a home run and an RBI, and the fastball in for a strike. Dermot, 4 out of 11 in the series, had 2 hits in 3 at-bats in the afternoon game, plus a walk. So he was on 3 out of 4 times. Breaking pitch chopped to the first baseman. The pitcher covers and not needed. Getting there just in time is Barry, and it's a ground out 3 unassisted. So quickly, 2 outs, and both pitchers have been economical here in the opening inning.
They absolutely have. It makes for a nice, quick game. You know, Fritsch, Barry taking that ball on his own, I'm not so sure I agree with that decision. Worked out. A guy with a little fleeter of foot might have beaten him out there.
Here is Logan Wade. First pitch, strike, a fastball. Logan Wade put on a terrific hitting exhibition here on Thursday night in the 6-5 victory in Game 1. He pops this one up back out of play. In that game on Thursday night, Wade had 4 singles and drove in 3 runs, scored 2, including the game winner, a walk-off run in the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah, it was an outstanding night for Logan Wade, especially being that scoring run. He seemed to be in the thick of everything. As you said, a couple of RBIs as well. Just an absolute dynamo at the plate Thursday.
He fouls this one out of play. He's been battling a calf injury. Didn't go to Melbourne last weekend. 32 years of age, Logan Wade. What a career he's had. Did play in the United States in the Minnesota Twins organization back from 2012 to 2016. He starts to swing, goes around.
Peel down to third. They said he didn't go. Good hold.
The plate umpire wanted to ring him up, and they asked for the appeal. I believe Logan Wade was fortunate. So he's still alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now he's out of there. And like the Cavalry in the top of the first, the Bandits go 1, 2, 3. To the second inning we go. There's no score, and this is Brisbane Bandits baseball on the ABL's Baseball Plus.
No matter how you're driving Australia forward, trust Hino to bring you home. Hino, built for tomorrow, delivering today. That's the Hino advantage.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we're all about understanding your circumstances. We want to make sure that our clients have had the best service and an excellent experience. We're here to care for you.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we speak your language.
Well, look at part of this big crowd here at Vidicon Stadium tonight. The weather is absolutely perfect. Very little breeze, not that warm. Just perfectly delightful to watch this game, the second game of a doubleheader. The first game went to the Bandits 6-2, and they've won the first 3 games of this 4-game series. Brian Fitzpatrick goes to work in the second inning, and the first pitch to Junpai Azuma is fouled back. 1 strike. Azuma coming in hitting .298, but he's only 1 for 11 in the series, and his batting average has dropped 63 points since he came to town. And he takes the ball. He's got 1 homer, 11 RBIs in the first 14 games.
And it's been a strange turn of events, I think, for Azuma. I've seen some very ugly swings off of him, some breaking pitches in the dirt. We saw that against Sam Gardner last night. We saw that from Connor McDonald earlier today. He's just not seeing that breaking pitch very well at the moment.
That's a ball, and the count now on Azuma is 2 for 2. Azuma, Fullerton, and Berry here in the second inning, and there's no score, just really underway. Fitzpatrick on the 2-2 comes in with a fastball fouled back. Azuma is not a big guy. He's 5'7". He's owned by Yokohama in the Japanese league. He's been playing first base but catching here tonight. That is strike 3 call. He didn't like it. He thought if nothing else it was low, and Fitzpatrick records his first strikeout.
That's great work by Fitzpatrick, painting that lower part of the plate. For Canberra, having Junpai Azuma not hitting the way he has been hitting so far this season in this series has really hurt them, especially tonight with Robbie Perkins on the bench. They really need him to step up if they're going to have a chance to win this ballgame.
Yeah, Perkins, their regular catcher, is out with a knee injury. Fullerton offers and misses 1 strike. Perkins hurt himself late in the game last night making a throw, so not available for this doubleheader. Cam Tilley caught the first game. Junpai Azuma catching here in the second. Fullerton slaps one on the ground. 2 hopper to Riley. He tosses to Hall, and it's 2 up and 2 down. I like these unis. I love the Story Bridge on the front.
The City Connect jerseys that Brisbane is wearing, and their hats are outstanding too. Have a nice big yellow BNE for Brisbane on the top. They look really sharp.
No shortage of uniforms and hats for the ball club. Jack Berry digs in. I call those numerals on the back Toronto Blue Jay numbers. That's the same font that the Blue Jays use. And it's 1 strike
Sure
on
looks
Berry.
like it. That fastball right there blows by Berry. Fitzpatrick is getting a little bit more velo than we've seen earlier on in the season. And he's got that biting slider and the biting splitter as well right there.
Nips the outside corner. A little more velo. Is that another Australian?
No, velo.
Huh?
No, certainly not. Certainly not.
No. This one is in the dirt.
But
I'm
it is
trying to catch up here in the land of nicknames.
It is the nature of Australian language to like to abbreviate and add an O or an A or an E on the end.
Well, I can see having to say velocity would take a lot of time, so you say velo. Swing and a miss. So 2 strikeouts and 6 in a row retired by Brian Fitzpatrick. He's got the good stuff tonight. To the bottom of the second inning, Battaglia, Campbell, and Skepton due up for the Bandits in a scoreless game.
Great job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Let's go, Archer. Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer!
Beers to the beach.
Thank you, Archer!
They look thirsty down there in the outback, Archer.
We'll all be.
Thank you, Archer!
Yeah! Good boy, Archer.
Early start going to the bottom of the second inning. The two teams are playing like they're all double parked. And Ryan Booth Battaglia leads off the second inning. He is Shane Watson's cleanup hitter, and he hits the ball high in the air to left field. The left fielder doesn't see it. Now maybe gets a look at it. Nope. And it'll drop. The throw to second, not in time. And that is a stand-up double for Battaglia.
Fullerton looked like he was lost almost off the bat. He had his hands out, couldn't see anything. And I don't know if they were helping direct him, but he must have just lost that in the sky and the lights. I don't know what it was.
It's that time of the early evening. The lights really haven't taken full effect. It's not dark. You got a high sky for the most part, not that many clouds. So it's a bad time to be an outfielder. Here's Andrew Soupy Campbell trying to pick up the runner at second base, and the fastball taken for a strike. Soupy in the afternoon game walked and scored in the third when the Bandits sent 11 hitters to the plate and scored all 6 of their runs. Otherwise, he struck out 3 times, and he's up there now trying to pick up Battaglia, who is at second base with a gift double. Skeptin on deck. Hong ready to work. Fastball hit up the middle, and making the play is Greer, and he gets him at first base, and that's 1 out.
That one looked like it went off the glove of Hong. So
yeah.
a 1-4-3 there.
Yeah, you could hear it hit the leather. He says, no, I'm all right. Everybody wondered if he's okay. He says, yeah, I'm fine.
I think that that glove there probably stole a hit away from Soupy Campbell.
Here is Alex Skeptin, and if the hits are for sale, he'd like to buy one. Skeptin in the first game went 0 for 3, and after a great start in the series, he's now 3 for 11, and his average has dropped just a bit to 361. Still a pretty nice average.
It is still a nice average, but I think Alex Skeptin would tell you that it amounts to a can of beans, says he'd like to start getting back on track.
That sinks low, ball 1. Skeptin had the huge game offensively Thursday night, the opening game of the series. Had a single, a double, walked intentionally, and a 2-run home run. Since then, there's been a bit of a drought. Here's a chopper up the middle, gloved by the second baseman, no chance. Over to third goes Battaglia, and Skeptin says, hey, it ain't that pretty, but
I'll take it.
I'll take it, thank you. Runners at first and third, and only 1 out here in the second inning.
And the funny thing is, watching Alex Skeptin the past 2 games, he's looked very uncomfortable at the plate. That plate appearance right there didn't really have that same comfort, that same swagger that we've seen from Skeptin. But sometimes when you're in a bit of a rut, all you need is a gimme hit, and now you can get yourself back on track.
The Cavalry are in double play depth. Runners at first and third, 1 out, no score, second inning. Here is Taden, grand slam home run Hall. He rips the ball to center. Moritz is there. Tagging at third as the catch is made is Battaglia, and he'll slide in ahead of the throw. So Hall has his 7th RBI of the season now with a very appropriate sacrifice fly.
Well, for a guy who came into this series with virtually no RBIs, actually not even virtually, no RBIs, to be tagging 7 up here in just 3 games or 4 games has to feel really good for Taden Hall.
Yeah, Taden with 6 hits and 12 trips in the first 3 games. Here is Luke Smith. You might say Luke who? He played his first ABL game in the opener this afternoon. He's only 18 years of age, and he fouls the first pitch from Hong to the backstop.
Still looking for his first ABL hit is Luke Smith, but as you said, only 18. He's got a bright future ahead of him. I'm sure he'd love to tally that first knock right now.
Skepton gets a pretty good lead. He's running. He's got a great jump. The pitch is taken and no throw. Skepton was off and going, and Hong really didn't pay any attention to him. A stolen base.
Well, there's not much you can do. Skepton runs very well for such a well-built guy. Azuma didn't even bother trying to throw him. He was there before could even get one off.
Luke Smith looks at one, blocked nicely by Azuma behind the plate. Luke Smith, the DH tonight. He is a high school graduate of this year, the 2023 class. And here he is playing pro ball.
If there's something to make you feel old, that's it. There it is.
A base hit. Rounding third is Skepton. Here comes the throw, and the throw gets wild, goes to the backstop, and Smith, with his first professional hit, is at second base. He has his first ABL RBI as Skepton scores, and the Bandits lead it 2-0. Congratulations to young Luke Smith.
Michael O'Neill jumps out of the dugout quick to grab that ball for Luke Smith. That is an exciting moment for the young man. And not a gimme hit at all. That one was a nice hard ground ball through the left side of the infield. Brings Skepton home.
Nicely done. So 2 are in, 2 are out, and Will Riley, the 9th hitter, at the plate against Hong. That's a strike.
Will Riley, of course, got the big rally going in the 3rd inning in the last game. Laid down one of the most perfect bunts I've seen in a long, long time down the third baseline.
In this day and age, any bunt you see could well be one of the best bunts you've seen in a while because, boy, there just aren't many bunts anymore.
You don't see it. And I had a chat with Will Riley about it. His mentality says, you just see everybody always playing back, third baseman always playing back because bunting is not really a thing anymore. It leaves that open. He thought, I just thought I'd give it a try, see what would happen. Ends up on second base and then ends up coming home on a Jack Pineda 2-run home run. So, job done.
There's a strike. He looks at the plate umpire, Adam Leake, like, did you see the same pitch I saw?
Hong has pretty good velocity on his fastball, and he's got some very interesting breaking stuff.
2-2 pitch, lashed. Oh, baby! What a play by Acton. Horizontally diving to his left, spears that liner to take a hit away from Riley and most likely another run away from the Bandits. But a very productive second inning. 2 runs, 3 hits, a runner left, and on to the third we go. It's 2-0 Brisbane.
Great job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Let's go, Archer. Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer!
Beers to the beach.
Thank you, Archer!
on, B.
Thank you,
Archer! Yeah! Good boy, Archer.
"23-year-old lefty Brian Fitzpatrick ready to go to work here against the bottom third of the Cavalry order, and it's quickly one strike on the designated hitter Cam Tilley. Cam hitting 143, no homers, no RBIs, 1 out of 7 in this series. He caught the first game. Greer will follow, and then Campbell. Boy, Fitzpatrick, you can almost see his confidence building. He's retired the first 6 hitters, struck out 2 in the second inning, and he just blew that one by him.
He is absolutely dealing right now, and you know what? He's dealing at a very, very economic pace.
I thought, well, maybe at 2 strikes he'll throw something with a wrinkle. He just reared back and said, if you can hit this, good luck. It's a high, hard one.
When you're in a zone like Brian Fitzpatrick is, there's no real point to throwing a wrinkle. When you got a guy on his back foot like that, you just keep pumping the gas in there.
Here is young Jalen Greer. He takes the ball. Greer is the second baseman. This afternoon he played shortstop. He's 2 out of 10 in the series with a home run. And this is the first action he has seen in this ABL season. Doesn't get that one.
That's that little splitter that Brian Fitzpatrick features, and it is one of the most devastating pitches. The way it just dives ever so slightly right at the last minute, nearly impossible to hit.
Swing and a miss. As the scouts like to say, he has an ability to miss bats.
He does have the ability to miss bats when he's on, and he is on tonight. And, you know, we talk about efficiency. He has thrown 25 pitches so far. 20 have been strikes.
That's a pace of about 80 for 9 innings, which would be remarkable. This one is low. That evens the count at 2-2.
At what is it? Is it sub 80? Is that a Maddox? Or is it sub 100 pitches for a complete game? That's called a Maddox? Something like that. Somebody will come in and tell me.
You're not talking to me, I hope. Here's a foul back.
That's all I get to do in these broadcasts.
You're talking to a vast worldwide audience. So
that is true.
If it goes over my head, it's okay, because somebody will catch it. 2-2 the count on Greer. Now 3-2. Greer, a one-time Oakland Athletics farmhand. Michael Campbell, a veteran, is on deck. Fitzpatrick, the Rutgers University product, sends it home. The fastball foul back.
Well, Greer's spoiling the low pitch count here with a very tough at-bat. But, just so we can clarify, the Maddox, which is a term used in baseball, it is a complete game shutout on fewer than 100 pitches.
Here's a chopper to third. That's a tough play. Trying to backhand it. Fritsch doesn't get it. Very, very tough play. He just was on an in-between hop, big hopper. So Greer becomes the Cavalry first base runner.
And I dare say that Fritsch will probably be charged with an error on that, but that is only because we're so used to him being so sure-handed. I'm nearly apt to give him a hit for that reason.
Would like to. At the big league level, that's clearly an error. But this is not the big league level. Here's Michael Campbell, 37-year-old veteran. Swing and a miss.
But therein lies my point. I would make the case that Fritsch has a big league glove, so maybe, do we give him an error on that one, I'm afraid.
Do we hold him to a higher standard than the others in the league?
Not a higher standard, no, but there's a certain expectation that comes with Dermot Fritsch, I'll tell you that. And it is a good one.
Fitzpatrick bunts, and it's in the air and drops foul. The element of surprise. and everybody was surprised, but he couldn't get the bunt down.
Funny thing is, I'm watching Brian Fitzpatrick come off the mound and chase that one down. It was up in the air for a little bit of time, and I thought, you know what? With how tall he is, how long his legs are, he nearly was able to make a play on it.
Yeah, he can cover some real estate. He is 6'7". So when you're at the plate, there's a lot of arm and legs coming at you. 2-strike pitch. Tap back to the hill. Fitzpatrick, low throw. And they get the one out at second base. And the key, what a dandy play by Logan Wade. I mean, that ball could have easily gone into center field, and only because of Logan Wade are they able to cut down Jalen Green. So a fielder's choice, 1-6.
You know, we talk so much, and I go on at length about Dermot Fritch's ability in the field, but Logan Wade, for a long time, has been making those kind of plays. And if you watch that at home, that was outstanding, that he was even able to turn the ball, let alone catch it.
Here's the leadoff hitter, Andrew Moritz. Runner at first is Campbell, held by Hall, and there'll be a toss over.
In Brian Fitzpatrick's defense, and you know, I was a pitcher for many years. That is one of the hardest throws to make. Only succeeded by the throw to first base on a comebacker.
So what you're saying for a pitcher, essentially, anytime you're not throwing to a hitter, it's a tough throw.
It's a tough throw. It's funny because you get it back to you, and sometimes it comes back in such a way that you're sort of panicked and things like that, and you turn and you try and make a throw, and you know, it just all goes haywire on you.
Moritz up there. He flied to center to start the game, and a 1-strike count. Breaking pitch is low. It's 1-1. Moritz, 26-year-old, spent a number of seasons in the Atlanta Braves organization. Had a 2-run homer this afternoon, going 2 for 4. All the scoring this afternoon was on home runs. Oh, what a good pitch. That's a strike called on Moritz. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That's not something we've seen a lot with Brisbane so far this season, is getting a lot of those runs via the home run ball. But, you know, big turn of events in the last about 48 hours.
In the dirt, scooped out nicely by Battaglia. So Fitzpatrick trying to record the third out here in the Canberra third inning. At first base, Campbell. Got a big lead now. Whoa, where's that? Right down the middle. And Moritz is caught looking like the house by the side of the road. And that's 4 strikeouts in the early going for Brian Fitzpatrick. And the Bandits will come up in their half of the third inning, looking to add to a 2-0 lead. And you're watching the Australian Baseball League on Baseball Plus.
Welcome to Ace Comms, two-way radio and body-worn camera specialists. Ace Comms is proudly the Australian distributor for Motorola Solutions. Ace Comms was formed in 1988 in South Africa and has grown into a premier wireless communications technologies distributor. With a primary focus on Motorola Solutions, we also supply a wide variety of leading radio communications brands. We welcome the opportunity to discuss our partner network opportunity with you. Leverage off the high-demand wireless comms industry and let Ace Comms empower your business to grow.
Yo, up the middle, another base hit. Last Sunday, now he banks one to right field. 2. Yo's back. At the track, he got it. Pump and the fire. Struck him out swinging.
Brett Sports, the official equipment partner of the Brisbane Bandits.
We're at Viticon Stadium in Brisbane, and the Bandits have a 2-0 lead as they come up with the top of their order in the third inning. That's Milo Rushford against Wan Bin Hong.
Wan Bin Hong on for his third inning of work. He's been pretty good so far in tonight's game. He has given up the 2 runs and got 1 strikeout, but a lot of that manufactured by some conditions.
Here's a ground ball, circling and playing at his Greer, and he slings to first for the out. 1 up, 1 down on 1 pitch. And that'll bring to the plate Dermot Fritsch, grounded to the first baseman in the opening inning.
Yeah, Milo Rushford, watching his at-bats, we saw the same sort of thing from Taden Hall leading into this series. You know, a bit of frustration there. You just feel like he's just right on the verge of breaking out.
That's a strike. You know, when you're struggling, you're usually struggling with your focus, and I think I'm suspecting Rushford now is going, the minute I see a fastball, I'm going to take a rip. Because, I get the breaking pitch, I get behind in the count, strike out too much. The problem is, a real good hitter will be very selective and take some pitches when you're young and you want to hit a fastball. If the first pitch is a fastball, boom, you let her go.
And, when you're in a bit of a struggle state like Milo Rushford is at the moment, every at-bat starts to take on a bit more weight than it probably should. A good big leaguer will tell you each at-bat is just an at-bat. And once it's over, you turn the page, and then there's the next at-bat. And, he's probably feeling a bit of weight on himself at the moment. Just needs to sort of let that go and get back to doing what he knows how to do.
I'm sure his dad, Jim, watching at home in Arizona, probably saying, well, I've got a great email to you tomorrow. Apparently he emails him every day. As Milo says, nobody knows my swing better than my dad, who was a longtime pro player and played a bit in the major leagues with the Phillies. So he's got a good built-in family coach who watches these games, obviously, at some very strange hours in Arizona.
And look, there's nothing wrong with his swing at all. He's got a great-looking swing, just a bit of timing and focus, like you said. At the end of the day, something that's so important for him is that he's playing fantastic defense. As long as he continues to play that really good defense that we see from him out in center field, out in left, the hits will start to come. They'll start to trickle in, and all of a sudden he'll get red hot.
2-2 the count on the veteran Fritsch. Make it 3-2, and he draws a walk. So that's the first walk allowed by Hong, who has struck out 1. And with 1 out, Fritsch at first base. Now we get to the heart of the order, the third hitter, Logan Wade, who struck out in the first inning.
Logan Wade, as we've mentioned, Thursday put on a clinic. No reason to think he's not going to continue to do that here.
Logan, as a youngster, was not totally a baseball player, but he was a very good rugby player, which in this neck of the woods, I guess, is not much of a surprise. To the bag goes the shortstop Min.
Bad luck.
And there is a double play. 6-3, and Wade is out of there, and the Bandits are done. 3 innings complete here at the ballpark in Brisbane. Glad you're with us tonight. And so far, the Bandits have it their way. They lead it 2-0.
No matter how you're driving Australia forward, trust Hino to bring you home. Hino, built for tomorrow, delivering today. That's the Hino advantage.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we're all about understanding your circumstances. We want to make sure that our clients have had the best service and an excellent experience. We're here to care for you.
Here at Phoenix Law and Associates, we speak your language.
What a job so far by the youngster Brian Fitzpatrick in front of a huge crowd here tonight at Vidicon Stadium. This is where you come, folks, to have fun. Baseball's great, the fun, unbelievable. Here's the first pitch of the fourth inning, swung on and missed by Min Park. You got a baseball tossing event behind the first base grandstand for the kids. All sorts of food and drink opportunities. A lot of great music, contests on the field between half innings for the youngsters. Tough to beat. If you want the best fun in Brisbane, this is the place to be.
And if you like good pitching, this is also the place to be at the moment. Brian Fitzpatrick working again here in the fourth. He's been absolutely outstanding so far.
One base runner, Greer on an error by the third baseman Fritsch on a very difficult chopper. Park grounded to third himself his first time up, and he's up there 1-2. We mentioned Fitzpatrick went to Rutgers University. Then in 2022 was a 10th round draft pick of the Milwaukee Brewers. Swing and a miss, maybe got a piece of it, and it goes back to the screen. Fitzpatrick pitched at Rutgers in 2019, then 2021 and 2022, and then the draft of the summer of 2022. So he's pitched 2 pro seasons, swing and a miss. He badly fools Min Park, and the strikeout is already his 5th.
The Bandits Outlaws will be chucking another glue pot up above the visitors' stands. I'm not really sure what the Canberra Cavalry can do right now to figure out Fitzpatrick, because there is not a lot of mistakes he's making.
Whoop, up and in. Ball 1 on Corey Acton, who flied to left in the first inning. Fitzpatrick, after he was drafted in 2022, played for the Brewers in the Arizona Complex League, and he bends one in for a strike. And then this past summer was in the Brewers Arizona Complex League and pitched for the Carolina Mudcats in A-ball. Pitched 11 games this past summer. He's up and in, had a record of 1-2, 30 and 2/3 innings, struck out 33, so a strikeout an inning, and his ERA was 6.48. 2-1 pitch to Acton, and that's a strike. That evens the count at 2-2.
I think you look at that ERA and you go, ooh, that's not very good. But, there's a lot of factors that can go into that. You can have, if you're throwing low numbers of innings, just one bad inning can really skew that number.
Here's a foul fly out of play. I met Brian Fitzpatrick's parents before the game. They're from Long Island, New York. They flew out, went to Melbourne last weekend.
Fantastic.
And here this weekend, they're headed back to New York on Monday. Acton cuts and misses. So he's out of there. That's 3 strikeouts in a row for Fitzpatrick, who has struck out 6. The Bandits as a staff are averaging 10 strikeouts a game. That's a lot of strikeouts.
And they're well on their way tonight with the way Fitzpatrick's dealing. You saw a little fist pump there at the end. I think he felt like he missed that pitch, that he didn't throw it in the spot that he wanted, but managed to get Acton anyway.
Here's a foul out of play off the bat of Junpai Azuma. He's the cleanup hitter. We didn't see many strikeouts this afternoon, did we?
Connor had a few. He had a few more than we would have expected. He hasn't been a big strikeout pitcher guy, but he did have a few.
Yeah, there were only 5 strikeouts by the 3 pitchers we saw: McDonald, Lim, and Hope. It was a very low number. by comparison. Azuma at the dish trying to get aboard here in the fourth with 2 outs, and the pitch is too low. You might say, how many strikeouts would you expect in a game? That's a good question. Center fielder Rushford is there. He's got it, a 1-2-3 fourth. In Major League Baseball this past summer, there were almost 9 strikeouts per game. That's both teams combined. What a start for Brian Fitzpatrick. He is through 4, has himself a 2-0 lead right here in Viticon Stadium, and this is the Australian Baseball League on Baseball Plus.
Great job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Let's go, Archer. Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer!
Beers to the beach.
Thank you, Archer!
They look thirsty down there in the outback, Archer.
Well, I'll be.
Thank you,
Archer! Yeah! Good boy, Archer.
Yeah.
I didn't see that when I looked. Here we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. The Bandits have a 2-0 lead. It'll be Battaglia, Campbell, and Skepton against Juan Bin Hong. And this one is high. Battaglia led off the second inning with a fly ball to left field in the midst of dusk. And the left fielder Fullerton didn't see it until it hit the ground. Now it's totally dark, more routine, and Campbell grabs that high can of corn, and there's 1 out here in the fourth inning.
The game is here in the fourth inning. It's 2-0 Bandits. They're trying to get a few more runs on track, trying to put a bit more space here to give Brian Fitzpatrick more room to work.
Here is Campbell, who hit one hard up the middle off the pitcher's glove and was thrown out by the second baseman, and it's 1 strike. 23-year-old Juan Bin Hong, his 4th game of the season, his 3rd start, and he jumps ahead 0-2 on the veteran Andrew Soupy Campbell, the affable Soupy. He gets out of the way of this one, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, Campbell, one of the big fan favorites here around the park. And he continues to do good work this year. Numbers not really showing how much of an impression he's made.
He's out of there on strikes, and it's 2 up, 2 down here in the fourth inning. If you look at what Hong had done in his 3 games, including 2 starts prior to this one, losing 2 decisions with an ERA over 7, you'd probably be surprised at the success he has had in this game. He's actually thrown pretty well, even though he is down 2-0. Here's Alex Skepton, who sets himself in the batter's box somewhat relieved after recording an infield hit his first time up. Fastball in for a strike.
Yeah, Hong really only given up 2 hits, and one, is questionable. It goes down as a hit, but a fly ball that left fielder Harry Fullerton lost in the lights. So really, he's only given up 1 true hit to this guy right here, Alex Skepton. And even that was a bit of a gimme.
That was an infield hit. They play Skepton to pull. He's got a 2-strike count. And that one bounds up there, 1-2. Next weekend, round 5 of the 10-round season, the Bandits will be in Perth, and then home the following weekend, December 21st, 22nd, and 23rd against Melbourne. This one is yanked foul. Third base coach Don Lutz scoops it up. Coaching over at first, as always, for the Bandits is Matt Roxburgh. So 2 outs, nobody on here in the Bandits' 4th. A 1-2 count on Alex Skepton, the right fielder. They set up down and away, and that's a ball. Almost hits the glove. So that was, if you will, a waste pitch of sorts. Now Hong figures to have to come in with something better. 2-2. Breaking ball, foul back. So the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Alex Skepton would like to see a pitch to here. I think he's probably going to get something, as you like to say, Ken, with a wrinkle in it from Hong.
2-2 the count, 2 outs, nobody on base here in the Bandits' 4th. This one is chopped to third, scooped up nicely by Acton, and Skepton is gone. Very nice play at third base by Corey Acton. The Bandits go 1-2-3 here in the 4th inning. The nightcap of a Saturday doubleheader goes to the 5th inning, and the Bandits are on top 2-0.
Welcome to Ace Comms, two-way radio and body-worn camera specialists. Ace Comms is proudly the Australian distributor for Motorola solutions. Ace Comms was formed in 1988 in South Africa and has grown into a premier wireless communications technologies distributor. With a primary focus on Motorola solutions, we also supply a wide variety of leading radio communications brands. We welcome the opportunity to discuss our partner network opportunity with you. Leverage off the high-demand wireless comms industry and let Ace Comms empower your business to grow.
Yo, up the middle, another base hit. Last Sunday, now he banks one to right field. 2. Yo's back. At the track, he got it. Pump and the fire. Struck him out swinging.
Brett Sports, the official equipment partner of the Brisbane Bandits.
The left-hander, Brian Fitzpatrick, his 4th start, looking for his 2nd win. He now has thrown in 4 starts, 16 innings. And CJ, he's allowed only 8 hits. Not bad.
No, not bad at all. And you know what? I've harped on about it so far in this game, and I'm going to continue to do so. The most impressive part about that really is the efficiency that we've seen out of Fitzpatrick. 54 pitches so far, 41 of them strikes.
Here's one driven to left center, and there is the first hit for the Canberra Cavalry as Campbell throws it in. That's a leadoff 5th inning double for Harry Fullerton. So Fitzpatrick does not allow a hit through the first 4, and now all of a sudden a leadoff double, and that was cracked pretty well by the Sydney native.
Well, I was lauding Brian Fitzpatrick for throwing strikes, and that one was a strike. Caught probably a bit too much at the plate there, and Harry Fullerton unloaded it all the way back to the wall in left center.
Here's Jack Berry playing his 5th game of the season. He went down swinging in the 2nd inning. First pitch, the fastball is wide. So all of a sudden, Barry, who has a home run here in the early part of the season for him, has a chance to hit one out and tie this game. He fouls this one back. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And he certainly is a guy who has the capability of doing so. Big, strong guy, good bat. If Fitzpatrick catches a little bit too much of the plate, we're going to be watching one fly into the Brisbane night.
Tilley is on deck, Barry up there. Leading from second is Fullerton. And this one fouled back. That was not a great swing by Barry. He just kind of said, I better, since it's in there. Sometimes those half swings, those kind of I really didn't mean to, you get a blue pit and you go, well, okay. That wasn't that bad. You don't have to hit a rocket every time. Swing and a miss. So he'll walk back to the dugout, having struck out twice tonight. And that's 7 strikeouts for Fitzpatrick.
You know, for a guy like Brian Fitzpatrick, who is 6'7", he's very tall. He looks even taller when he's standing on on the mound. Living upstairs with that fastball, if he can get it up there and have it get a little bit of a rise action, it'll look like it's coming down to a hitter, but stays up in the zone. That's very tough to pick up.
The DH, Cam Tilley, ball 1. Of course, if you hearken back to the history of Major League Baseball, you don't have to go too far back. And you want to talk about a tall left-hander, you can talk about Randy Johnson, who was just all arms and legs, and of course he could bring it and had a pretty good career.
You know, when I look back at the baseball I watched growing up, you start to think, how impressive was it to be watching baseball at a time when both Randy Johnson and Greg Maddux, two couldn't be more disparate pitchers, were at their absolute dominant best.
Greg Maddux was a terrific pitcher who really knew how to pitch a game. Johnson was overpowering.
Well, I mean, of the two, as impressive as both of their careers were, I think both had 4 Cy Youngs back-to-back years. That's impressive in and of itself. But only Randy Johnson killed a bird.
That's true. Cam Tilley offers and doesn't connect. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. One of the best pitchers I ever saw as a youngster, not me as a youngster, but a young pitcher coming up, was Dwight Gooden.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, when he came up with the Mets, let me tell you, you didn't expect to get much when he was throwing against you.
No, he was electric. It's a bit of a shame, a tragic story. Dwight Gooden, ran into all sorts of personal problems that sort of derailed his career, because it would have been an absolute doozy of a career.
Fullerton leads at second, 1 out. We're in the 5th inning. 2-0 Bandits, swing and a miss. He got jammed. Looked like Tilley jammed himself more than anything. So he's down on strikes. And that is 8, count them, 8 Brian Fitzpatrick strikeouts. And here comes the pitching coach, Mike O'Neill.
And they've got a pitcher up in the Bandits bullpen. And, a lot of people might be looking at what's happening right now with them coming out and talking with Brian Fitzpatrick. But really, this is going to be about, controlling Brian Fitzpatrick's pitch count. A lot of these young pitchers that are coming over from organizations, they're on very limited pitch count outings. He's at 64 pitches now. He's probably got something like a 70 pitch count range. So that's probably just Michael O'Neill letting him know, hey, you got 64 pitches. Yeah. This right here is your last batter.
Right, that's probably the case. Of course, Fitzpatrick in the Milwaukee Brewers organization. The Bandits have some Kansas City Royals players also. Jalen Greer, fastball, that's a strike. Greer was safe on the error by Fritsch on a very tough play in the 3rd inning.
I kind of want to go back on the error call now that the no-no's been broken up and say, yeah, maybe it was a hit for Greer.
There's a ball, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Am I allowed to do that? I don't know. I think it's been officially called an error.
Greer waiting on Fitzpatrick, who looks to second, comes home, and the ball is fouled. As the great announcer Ernie Harwell told me more than once, he says it doesn't happen until you say so. So don't rush it, but the other way to look at it is if you say it, good enough. Got to be true. There's a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Greer, trying to pick up Fullerton with 2 down here in the Canberra 5th inning. The Bandits up 2-0. They scored their runs in the second, driven in by Hall and Smith. He misses, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. In the big leagues nowadays, when a starter gets past 85 pitches, he's about to come out, and certainly at 100 pitches, he's in the dressing room. One of the dramatic changes in baseball. Swing and a miss. He ends up, after the double to Fullerton, striking out Barry, Tilley, and Greer, and his strikeout total is 9. Wow. What a game. We're glad you're with us. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning and the bottom third of the Bandits' order. You're watching the Australian Baseball League on Baseball Plus.
No matter how you're driving Australia forward, trust Hino to bring you home. Hino, built for tomorrow, delivering today. That's the Hino advantage.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we're all about understanding your circumstances. We want to make sure that our clients have had the best service and an excellent experience. We're here to care for you.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we speak your language.
A little celebration. The gang here in the grandstand having fun tonight. They have fun every night.
That's right. The Outlaws are an absolute staple of games here at Vidicon Stadium, and they always have an absolute blast.
And there is a huge crowd here tonight. We hope you'll be out when the Bandits come back on December 21st against Melbourne. Here's Tayden Hall, who drove in the first run with a sacrifice fly in the second. At the bag at second, Park on to Barry, and 1 up and 1 down on 1 pitch.
Yeah, Hong back out again in the 5th, and you know he is now down 2-0. But as we said last inning, he has pitched quite well. Gave up the 3 hits in the second inning. Only 2 of those, or actually only 1, the hit from Luke Smith that brought in Alex Skepton. That was the only hit that actually was with any real authority. Ryan Battaglia's double into left field, that was one that just got lost in the lights. Alex Skepton managed to beat out an infield single, so really Hong has pitched well.
Luke Smith is the batter, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. So he had his first ABL hit, his first Australian Baseball League RBI, when he contributed in the 2-run second inning. He chops this one foul over to the third base dugout. The Bandits, with just the 3 hits, that's been it. Breaking ball is outside. The Bandits in this 4-game series have had 36 hits 20 for the Cavalry, so that would give you some indication the Bandits have had it their way. That's a ball. And the runs are 25-11 in the 4 games, favoring the Bandits. So in 4 games, they've given up 11 runs, which means the pitching has really been dandy.
Yeah, look, you only need to score 12 runs in order to have wins in those, in order to win the series, and they've put a few more on. But when your pitching is throwing like they have been, it makes it really easy on a lineup.
Time called. Opposition hitters against the Bandits pitching staff hitting right around 200, which is the lowest average against a team in the entire league. That's just one measure that shows you how well Shane Watson's team has been pitching.
They really have. And, you know, they had a bit of that road bump round 1 against Adelaide. Adelaide, of course, has an absolute meat grinder of a lineup to try and get through. But, yeah, they've been just outstanding ever since.
Smith has a good rip. Fouls it back, and the count is full. Bandits going for the sweep in this series. They come in having won 4 in a row, 8 of 9, and 9 of 11. That's strike 3 called, and they're 2 down here in the Bandits' 5th inning.
That one must have caught the inside part of the plate. It looked a little too far inside from where we're looking at it, but Andrew Leake behind the plate thought that was definitely a strike.
Hong has retired 6 in a row in 8 of the last 9. The only batter to reach base in the last 9 was walked, and Will Riley got first base umpire Tom West a little excited with that sharp line drive. He got out of the way. Riley lined in the hole left side his first time up, and the third baseman Acton, with a dive to his left, made a dazzling play to rob him of a hit. Now the third baseman Acton is almost over to the shortstop position. Park, the shortstop, is not directly in back of second base, but he's pulled over also. Here's a shot up the middle. When you hit the ball like that, they can't play well enough to stop you. So that is, for Riley, his first hit of the game, but he's hit the ball sharply both at bats.
Yeah, he's put really good wood on the ball. As you said, the first one just robbed by Corey Acton. That one ain't nobody going to rob him there.
So Hong, after retiring 6 in a row, faces Milo Rushford, who has grounded out twice. He offers on the first pitch, which I believe he did in his last at bat, and this one is out of play.
I tell you what, I got a feeling about Milo Rushford in this at bat. I think we're going to see something pretty cool here.
He's in the hole, 1 strike. Held at first base is Riley. He's got a big, big lead, and he draws the throw, doing a little dancing, a little leaning, and that gets the attention of Juan Bin Hong. Rushford looking for his first home run. That one is tight. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I think Bon Wing Hong wanted that pitch right there.
Two and 1. It's the bottom of the 5th. Will Riley at first, 2 down, 2-0, Bandits. Riley goes, and the pitch gets away.
I think that hit Rushford.
So Rushford will go to first. He gets hit by the pitch. And that pushes Riley to second base. So Rushford, as we mentioned earlier, has 9 walks this season. He also has a penchant for getting hit by pitches, so he gets on one way or another.
And pitching coach Paul Fletcher will head back out. He's gotten his steps up today. He's ticking things over on the Fitbit.
Yep, I feel okay. I'm good. Don't worry about a thing. I'm good.
Looks like Hong will stay in the game.
Now the skipper,
Ward's coming out and doing something here.
Keith Ward, comes out to talk to the plate umpire, Adam Leake. And Adam Leake is showing various fingers to the pitcher. 4 fingers, 3 fingers, 2 fingers on this hand, 1 on that. Then he points to first base. Now he shows 4 fingers. Oh, the question is, did he walk? I think the question is, did he walk or was he hit? And now the 4 umpires are going to get together.
I'm not sure what difference that would really make, to be honest.
I wonder the same thing.
Unless they're asking if it hit him. If it didn't hit him, then he wouldn't have had a walk there.
So the umpires confer, and the availability of replay is at Major League Baseball and a few other places, but not here. Now they're going to go and, I believe, send Rushford back.
So they're saying it didn't hit him now. Shane Watson will need an explanation.
Now he's going over towards the dugout. And he's getting his bat. I didn't think it hit him. I know you believed it hit him. I think it was just a wild pitch that moved Riley from first to second. Let's take a look at it.
See, I thought it got him on the back of that, on that back foot there.
Let's look at it again. No, it went over his foot, I believe, and then off the glove of the catcher Azuma. So a wild pitch advances Will Riley, and Milo Rushford is still at the dish.
Now I'm wishing I did my scorebook in pencil. Should learn from a pro like you, Ken.
That's right. I still use pencil and paper in all facets of life.
You know what? I am going to bank on the fact that he is going to either walk or get hit right here. Or do something special, like I said.
Got a hitter's pitch. And he drives the ball to right center. It'll fall. Rounding third. Here's Riley. He'll score. And that makes it 3-0. Oh, baby. Great to see Milo Rushford earn his second RBI of the season.
Well, I thought he'd do something special, and you know what? The baseball gods have said, yes, Milo Rushford, you deserve to be on first base. But instead of just a hit by pitch, we'll give you an RBI.
So it's 3-0. Bandits, and the number 2 hitter, Dermot Fritsch, who is grounded out and walked, comes up to the plate.
What I enjoy about that is Keith Ward decided he wanted to go and argue the point, make sure Rushford went back to the plate, and instead of having guys on first and second with 2 outs, he cost himself a run.
Rushford is always a threat to run. He's held at first by Barry. Remember, there's 2 outs here in the 5th, and a run in now to make it 3-0 Bandits. Hong, the starter, has gone all the way, and he moves Fritsch back. On deck for the Bandits, should Fritsch keep the inning alive, is Logan Wade.
Be interested to see here. I've got the inkling here that Rushford might be on the move.
That's a strike. 2-1. You still have the inkling?
Yeah, I got an inkling he's going to try and put himself in a scoring position here. He's been pretty free on the base paths thus far. Yeah, there you go. Oh.
Swing and a foul back. 2-2.
It's a good thing he didn't. It would have been a wasted effort.
On Fritsch. Well, great to see such a huge crowd here at Vidicon Stadium. A lot of groups are here. The group areas are busy.
Wonder how they're going down in the Wild West Saloon.
Other folks are down there. It's hard to see from where we are. Throw to first is wild. Rushford hustles to second base. And that'll be a throwing error.
What'd I tell you, man on the move. Nearly took the head off of Matt Roxburgh, the Bandits' first base coach. He was ducking and covering.
So a runner, Rushford at second base with 2 outs. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Fritsch, who was at 2-0, now at 2-2. Now he goes to 3-2.
Hong looks like he's laboring a bit now and doesn't have that. He's still got quite a bit of zip on his fastball, but his ability to locate is diminished a little in this inning.
He's only walked 1 in this game. That was back in the 3rd. That's not a very good 3-2 pitch. He walks Fritsch. Runners at first and second, a run already in. Hong got the first 2 hitters, Hall and Smith, but then the Riley single, the Rushford single, and now Fritsch a walk. And that brings up Logan Wade, who says to himself, I want to get a hit, but it's going to have to be against a new pitcher as the skipper. Keith Ward comes out, and that's going to be it for this night for Wan Bin Hong, who goes 4 2/3 innings. So, a call to the bullpen. It's brought to you by Ace Comms. And when the new pitcher comes in and Logan Wade steps to the plate, we'll be back. So take in these messages while we watch here at Vidicon Stadium.
Great job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Let's go, Archer. Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer!
Beers to the beach.
Thank you, Archer!
They look thirsty down there in the outback, Archer.
Well, I'll be.
Thank you, Archer!
Yeah! Good boy, Archer.
The new pitcher for the Cavalry is the right-hander Suma Tokuyama.
Age just 24, Tokuyama, another one of the Yokohama Bay Stars players who's come over from Japan. He's on for the 5th time this season with Canberra. He's got a 2.70 ERA and 3 1/3 innings. Only given up 1 earned run, but has given up a home run as well, 3 strikeouts and 2 walks to go along with him.
He comes in a spot where the Bandits have scored a run here in the 5th. They lead 3-0. They have 2 on and 2 outs, and Logan Wade coming up. The Cavalry skipper, Keith Ward, uses Tokuyama as a closer, as he does with Tyler Uneki. We saw Uneki earlier in the series. This is our first look at Tokuyama. Logan has struck out and hit into a double play. This is just his 5th game of the season. First pitch in there for a strike. Rushford at second, Fritsch at first, able to get a big lead. The first baseman, Barry, plays well behind him. Ground ball up the middle. Grabbed on a nice play by Greer. The runner at third, a wide turn. The bad throw grabbed by Acton. The throw to Azuma, the catcher.
Oh, he made it back in.
Goes Rushford. Believe that? Yes.
Oh, man. Talk about a misplay there. That big brain error for the Canberra Cavalry. They had Rushford dead to rights but left third base open. That, ladies and gentlemen, is not how you run a good rundown from a defensive perspective.
At the outset, Greer, the second baseman, made a very nice play on the ground ball off Logan Wade's bat that looked like it was going to get to center field. So now the bases are loaded. That's a fielder's choice, and the batter is Ryan Boof Battaglia. Good heads-up play by Greer.
Absolutely.
Because it looked like it was going to center field, so if you're Rushford, you're thinking, I'm going to score from second base. And by the time he got the stop sign, he was well around the bag, and Greer made that heads-up look and said, I can cut this guy down. And he should have had him out.
And it's a real shame because not only was Greer's play up the middle fantastic, but also his throw was in the dirt, very tough pick. Corey Acton scooped that right out and had the chance to get Rushford, but fortunately the rotation in the throwdown or the rundown just didn't work for him.
That's the second time in this series that the Cavalry has struggled with a key rundown. They had the same situation in the opening game that the Bandits won in the bottom of the ninth, 6-5. That was the game in which Wade scored the winning run. But there should have been an out on Wade as the leadoff hitter. They didn't do a good job on a rundown. And the swing and a miss by Battaglia, who is 1 for 2. He doubled in the second inning. Fly ball to left field in the dusk and the early lights. Fullerton was unable to find it, and it went for a dusk double. Rushford at third, Fritsch at second, Wade at first. 2 outs, a run already in. Here in the 5th inning, 3-0 Bandits, and that one is up and in. So it's 2 balls, 2 strikes on the veteran Battaglia.
Little chin music there from Tokuyama.
Battaglia, 31 years of age, 13th season.
Spent a lot of time with Team Australia as well as a catcher on their WBC teams.
Swing and a miss. So out of the bullpen comes Suma Tokuyama, and he ends it by striking out Battaglia. So the Bandits leave the bases loaded, but they add a run, 1 run on 2 hits. After 5 here at Viticon Stadium, the Bandits lead the Cavalry 3-0.
Welcome to Ace Comms, two-way radio and body-worn camera specialists. Ace Comms is proudly the Australian distributor for Motorola Solutions. Ace Comms was formed in 1988 in South Africa and has grown into a premier wireless communications technologies distributor. With a primary focus on Motorola Solutions, we also supply a wide variety of leading radio communications brands. We welcome the opportunity to discuss our partner network opportunity with you. Leverage off the high-demand wireless comms industry and let Ace Comms empower your business to grow.
Yo, up the middle, another base hit. Last Sunday, now he banks one to right field. 2. Yo's back. At the track, he got it. Pump and the fire. Struck him out swinging.
Brett Sports, the official equipment partner of the Brisbane Bandits.
This game advances to the 6th inning. Ken Wilson, C.J. Barnes, Vidicott Stadium in Brisbane. And we get the first relief pitcher of the night for the Bandits. It's young Ben Walmsley.
Ben Walmsley on for the 3rd time. He had saw some action in Adelaide as well as against Sydney here. Not a bad line as Ben Walmsley, 5.40 ERA, but he's only thrown an inning and 2/3 and gave up a home run in that, only 1 earned run. So he's kept guys off the bases unless they're trotting around him. But Ben Walmsley, the young Cincinnati Reds signee, looks to keep the Canberra Cavalry off the bases with a 3-0 lead.
Walmsley just turned 19 1 week ago today. So he is still very young. He'll face the 9 1-2 hitters here in the 6th inning, picking up for Brian Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick, what an outing. 5 innings pitched, no runs, 1 hit, no walks, and he fanned 9. It does not get much better than that.
If it does, I wouldn't want to be on the other end of it.
Here is Michael Campbell, the 37-year-old right fielder, and that is strike 1. Campbell hit into a force out, his first time up in the 3rd inning. He is 2 out of 7 in this 4-game series. Look out, the bat goes to the backstop, as does the baseball, and it's a 2-strike count.
Might need to get a little extra pine tar on that one there.
There's a good look at that BNE on the cap.
And you can see it there in a lighter blue behind the Story Bridge on the jersey. It's just really good looking uniform.
This one is fouled at home plate, and it's 2 strikes.
The Canberra uniforms, that blue and black, everybody knows them to be orange and black, but the blue and black are a throwback uniforms to their Bushranger days, Canberra Bushranger days. Back in the old ABL.
The Bushrangers.
Yeah, the Bushrangers.
Swing and a miss by Campbell. Battaglia will throw to 3rd to complete the out. So that's 10 strikeouts tonight for the Brisbane pitchers, which is their average.
Well, that means we can all go home, right?
Yeah. They have a 3-0 lead. They've recorded the 10 strikeouts. The only thing we've lacked is a home run, which we've seen quite a few of in recent games, including the game this afternoon when all 8 runs came on home runs. Here is Andrew Moritz, who's flied out and struck out, and he takes a strike from Ben Walmsley. Moritz, a fairly long time Atlanta Braves farmhand. He's had a pretty tough time in this series. Moritz has had 14 at-bats and only a couple of hits. He gets hits, speaking of hits. So he'll go to first with 1 out, hit by a pitch.
That one looks like it just got away from Walmsley a little bit. As you said, Ken, very young pitcher, recently signed by the Reds. Yeah, just a fastball that didn't fast.
So that'll bring up Min Park, who is grounded out and struck out. He's 0 for 5 in today's doubleheader. First game went to the Bandits 6-2. Their 4th win in a row. There's a ball. We talk about pitches, and it's a subject that we could do about a 3-hour show on. But people say the game of baseball doesn't change. And really it doesn't. It looks a lot like it's looked forever. There's a fastball high and away. But there are changes in Major League Baseball. The base size has changed. Some of the rules have changed. A clock for pitchers, they only have so much time between pitches. And a lot of terminology has changed over the years. At first is Moritz, and this pitch chopped to the second baseman. Riley, he tags the runner, and out is Moritz. Safe at first is the fielder on the fielder's choice is Min Park.
Yeah, it was a tough play for Riley there, slow chopper. You know, Campbell did what he could to make sure that Park gets himself to, Moritz does what he can to make sure that Park gets himself to first base. But tough play for Will Riley. Did a good job getting one.
Here's Corey Acton, 0 for 2, and he takes a strike. You look at back in the day, it was real easy. Pitchers threw a fastball, a slider, which was just a little bit off a fastball, and a curve, and maybe a changeup here and there. That was it for decades. Fastball, strike call. Now you've got the four-seam fastball, the two-seam fastball, sinkers, changeups. You have cutters. You have curveballs still, sweepers, sliders. I mean, it's unbelievable how the change has occurred. There is a strikeout, the second strikeout for Ben Walmsley. So he has a pretty strong inning. And we'll go to the bottom of the sixth inning. Maybe the Bandits can add more, get a little more comfort. They have a 3-0 lead.
No matter how you're driving Australia forward, trust Hino to bring you home. Hino, built for tomorrow, delivering today. That's the Hino advantage.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we're all about understanding your circumstances. We want to make sure that our clients have had the best service and an excellent experience. We're here to care for you.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we speak your language.
We're at Vinicon Stadium, and the Bandits will come up in the sixth inning against reliever Suma Tokuyama, and they have a 3-0 lead. We were mentioning how the terminology regarding pitching and pitches, CJ, has changed so much. There's an opening line from a story about understanding pitch classification. The opening line is, identifying pitches without the help of TrackMan, Hawkeye, or other ball tracking devices is as much an art as it is a science. Baseball America can help. If this piece, anyway, it goes on, and I mean, it's
science of baseball.
I don't know how fans, the general fan. I understand there are, even here in Australia, some folks that are great baseball fans, extremely knowledgeable, but
students
still,
of the game.
Yeah, students of the game, but it's a lot to follow. And the first pitch in the Bandits' sixth to Soupy Campbell is a strike. He is 0 for 2.
It is a lot to follow. It's a lot to sort of get your head around, especially when, there's so many variations. As you said, it used to be quite a simple thing. Now, I often wonder if we look back into some of the pitchers in the days of yore, guys like Bob Gibson, who were so dominant, if they may have utilized some of these tactics, it just simply there wasn't that science behind it. It was just something that Gibson did, that just mowed down hitter after hitter.
The old timers now, I think, kind of turn their heads a little bit at how the game has changed off the field, especially. You know, the dynamics of this, and we've talked about this, the statistics that are used today and put forth as important are not the statistics that were important 10 or 20 years ago. And now, at the big league level, and even in minor league pro ball in the United States and in Canada, you have a zillion cameras, you have everybody measuring everything in sight, and the young guys who have come out of college and are running big league clubs at age 35, 40, 45, they're all into all of that baseball science. And the older scouts are going, huh? Swing and a miss. The fastball gets by Campbell. So it's a transition. And I guess it's good for the game, but I would just say this. I think it's difficult for fans to follow. Now, I've been around the game, I hate to say this, for a long time. Let's just leave it as general as possible, okay?
Yep.
Let's put it this way. I saw Ted Williams play. I saw Mickey Mantle play in person, so I have been around. And it's difficult for me to keep up with the terminology, with the science, and I'm going, it's almost too much. It almost does too much to the game, which we've always described as a nice, simple game that to anybody who's a casual fan, it's a simple game. You and I know, and some real fans know, that it's a very complicated game.
It can be very complicated. It can be very simple. I agree with you on the stats that we see. I mean, baseball cards are going to start to be printed on A4 pieces of paper because of all the different stats you have to have on there. You know, it used to be very simple. But
Skeptic grounds it off his foot, so he'll walk it off.
You know, it's I have long conversations about baseball with my brother back in the U.S., and you know, we often talk about how it almost seems like it's going to get to a point where you see this one painfully off the inside of Alex Skepton's front leg there. It almost gets to a point where they're just going to start entering data into a computer and punching out the results of baseball games. And they're starting to do some of those things with computers, putting in all of those statistics, and they're getting pretty accurate outcomes for how baseball games are meant to go, you know.
There's strike three called, 2 up, 2 down. Well, you go back to, and I'm struggling a little bit for the right words, but you go back to Billy Beane and the Oakland Athletics, who were one of the first teams.
Moneyball.
That's what I'm looking
that's
for.
it.
And there, of course, was a movie.
Yep.
And I happened to be with the Oakland A's around that time, and I know Billy Beane. I have a lot of respect for him. But in that movie, Moneyball, the scouts were all scratching their heads. Like, what in the world are you talking about? You know, and a lot of scouts have lost their jobs just because they sit in an office, the executives, young executives, and figure it all out. Don't have to go out and see a guy play. They go, look, he's done this, he's done that. He did this many times. He did this after the 5th inning. He did this in the first 5 innings. And they go, what? That's the kind of guy we can win with.
Yep. And you know, the days of scouts having, you know, their gut feelings about a kid. You see somebody, maybe, you know, the stats your basic stats aren't very good, but they're like, they see something in him that nowadays everything's punched into a computer, and you can tell whether a kid's going to be successful or not. Now, might not pan out that way, but it seems to be the way that Major League Baseball and a lot of other sports as well is definitely trending.
Jaden Hall cuts and misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The reliever, Sumu Tokuyama, has faced 4 hitters. He's struck out the last 3. It's the 6th inning, and the Bandits have a 3-0 lead. Hall takes the ball. You know, and they talk about, and a lot's been written about, artificial intelligence in baseball, how AI makes its pitch to player development. And I don't even know what Chat GPT is. That's not what you say, is it?
No, Chat GPT is right, yeah.
Chat GPT. There's a walk with 2 outs to Taden Hall, and they talk about Chat GPT is an artificial intelligence chatbot developed by OpenAI in late 2022.
Yep.
And it's very key to baseball I mean, it's, I ask the question as a fan, why? I don't need that. I don't need that to enjoy the game.
Well, AI is one of those very hot button issues at the moment. Myself, I work in, the entertainment industry, and as a creative, it's easy to look down on AI and frown at AI. I have my own personal feelings towards AI, but I suppose I'm of a generation of people who enjoyed baseball in its pure, in a pure form, as I like to think of it, that didn't have all the analytics going 24/7, and I don't know that I see. I suppose technology has improved the product, improved what we see, but is it improving the game overall? I don't know that I can say that it does. I don't know that I would argue that it does, but that's just me, and some people, younger folks that are coming up in the game and enjoying it, they may see that a little bit differently. I don't know.
Luke Smith is 1 for 2. He's up there, 1-2, and he swings at a pitch out of the strike zone. So as it turns out, Tokuyama strikes out the side, throwing in the 2-out walk to Tayden Hall. The 7th inning is coming up. We're at Viticon Stadium, and here at the ballpark tonight, the Bandits are on top, 3-0.
Great job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Let's go, Archer. Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer!
Beers to the beach.
Thank you, Archer!
They look thirsty down there in the outback, Archer.
Well, I'll be.
Thank you, Archer!
Yeah! Good boy, Archer.
Well, the umpire's chatting as the Bandits go to the bullpen. Our call to the bullpen is brought to you by Ace Comms. And the third pitcher of the night is the young right-hander Wesley Scott.
Wesley Scott on for the 7th time. Ran into some struggles Thursday night when he gave up a few runs to the Canberra Cavalry. Does own a 7.71 ERA, has given up 6 earned runs. The killer for him has been the walks. He's given up 12 free passes, only 8 strikeouts to go along with it.
Here in the 7th, he'll face Azuma, Fullerton, and Barry. And here's a ground ball that hits Wesley Scott, and he recovers nicely and flips to Hall. 1-3 on the putout, and the question is Scott okay, or is Scott injured?
I think he's smarting a little bit. It looks like, he's got a bit of a limp. That looked like it hurt. That was a hard line drive right off the leg of Wesley Scott. Good work making the out, but I think that's going to be all she wrote for the young right-hander.
The brain trust comes out. Here's how it looks.
Ooh.
Wow.
Looked like it caught him right maybe on the back of the legs. Look, it's probably nothing too serious, the damage. That's what we call a corker. Taking it right off the muscle of that calf, it looked like. So it probably is just seizing up on him a little bit. It stings. But yeah, I reckon that'll be it. Sam Holland now up in the pen, getting ready in earnest.
The trainer, Bren Chand, helping him off. That's quite a picture there.
Well, I don't think Wesley's too upset.
So he faces one hitter, a third of an inning, and his work is done. Picking up for Ben Walmsley, who went 1 inning, no hits, no runs, and 2 strikeouts and a hit batter. So now we go to the bullpen, and we go to the veteran. Big Sam comes in.
Yeah, the bearded one, Sam Holland, another baseball legend here in Brisbane. Has run into a few little moments of trouble. He's given up 3 home runs so far this season, but he does have 8 strikeouts. Hasn't walked anybody. Does have a 3.24 ERA, though, in 8 1/3.
So it is 3-0. The Bandits on top. We've seen Fitzpatrick, Walmsley, Scott, and now Sam Holland. You know, just I don't want to kill the idea about all the terminology on pitchers.
Well, we got a moment here, Ken.
That's one thing about baseball. You have a lot of moments. My main point is over the years, when I run into people that are not diehard baseball fans, as I have been all my life, I say to them, the game is simple. Watch the game, follow the game, and keep it simple. In the meantime, I will say to somebody who's interested, the game is very complicated. If you watch it and think strategy and think ahead and talk about pitches, and oh my gosh, it's a huge endeavor to watch a baseball game. But it can be very simple. And when I watch Major League games now, and I listen to the announcers, and they start telling me that was a 2-seamer, that was a 4-seamer, that was a sweeper, you know, and I'm going, I hate to say it, I say, I don't really care. I don't need that much information when I'm watching a baseball game.
Yeah, and look, I suppose, you know, like you said, there's different level of baseball fans. Some people enjoy that. As a person who is a, you know, sort of pitching fanatic, I find stuff like that very interesting. But, you know, I can see how it can also feel very intimidating for, you know, a new fan to the sport, somebody coming in to look at the level, the breadth of information available and go, it can't possibly be this hard.
How intimidating can it be to a longtime fan?
Oh, yeah,
absolutely. A guy like me.
Yeah, I you know, absolutely. And, you know, I myself haven't even spent much time diving into those, you know, those deep stats, the ERA plus, the FIP, the, you know, FPIS, and all the other acronyms we see.
First pitch is a strike to Harry Fullerton. You've got the whip on the pitching side. You've got the slash. You've got the miles per hour off the bat on the offensive side. It's a lot of information. And I would argue that most fans are not all that interested. And I've watched some games here in the 2023 season, and they go, oh my gosh, that was a double. It was 102 miles per hour off the bat. And I go, oh, really? Am I supposed to know the difference between 99 miles per hour and 105 miles per hour off the bat? Am I supposed to know what it means, or if I care?
Well, I suppose the argument there is that that's why they tell you, in case you do care. I think it is interesting to see some of those statistics, but, you know, the constant barrage of it can kind of seem intimidating. You know, launch angle, things like that. I get that they have their place for some, in some respect, but, you know, I'm like you. In many cases, a lot of those statistics sometimes and the metrics sometimes kind of disinterest me.
I doubt that the most significant percentage of fans are not all that interested in that sort of thing, as Harry Fullerton is up there with a 3-2 count. And I wonder, here in Australia, obviously we have a huge percentage of people that don't know much about baseball. And if you're just coming into the game, let's not make it that complicated. Here's Riley on to Hall, and that retires Harry Fullerton. 2 outs here in the Cavalry seventh inning.
Just to let you know that exit velocity was about 87 miles per hour.
Oh, that was a good. That was a good at bat.
Yeah, it was
a real good at bat. And he had to get to first base in less than 3.5 seconds.
That's right.
And
his acceleration out of the box wasn't optimal there, so didn't have a chance to beat it out.
Folks, here in the Great Down Under, it's a great game, and it's not all as complicated as you may think. Here's a drive to right center off the bat of Jack Berry. Back is Skepton, and this one is out of his reach and out of the ballpark. So the Bandits' lead is trimmed to 3-1 as Berry has his second home run of the season and his second home run of this series. He had a 3-run homer here in Game 2 last night.
Yeah, the home run has been a little bit of a bugbear for Sam Holland. Kind of not something we've seen a lot from him in the last couple of years at Bandits baseball, but been a bit of an issue here. His fourth home run he's given up this season.
Here is Camp Tilley. He struck out twice and he swings and misses. I'm going to end that discussion. Here are some new baseball terms: ride, run, sweep, cut, spin efficiency, Magnus force, gyroscopic spin, and bore. These are obviously new pitching.
Well, the last one does that to me.
You're a comedian.
Oh,
the bore.
I fashioned myself something of a funny man, I suppose.
Here's the pitch, and that's a strike on Tilley. Bore, just to help out, a common term used to describe four-seam fastball movement that both rides and runs. This causes the pitch to move both vertically and horizontally to the pitcher's arm side. Foul back. And then it goes on. Garrett Cole's fastball is an excellent example of a pitch with heavy bore.
That sounds like something from a spelling bee contest. Use that in a sentence.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Here's a high drive off the bat of Tilley. In center field to make the catch is Rushford. So in the seventh inning, the Cavalry get their first run of this contest on a solo Jack Berry home run. Seventh inning stretch time here at Vidicon Stadium, and this game belongs so far to the Bandits by a score of 3-1.
No matter how you're driving Australia forward, trust Hino to bring you home. Hino, built for tomorrow, delivering today. That's the Hino advantage.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we're all about understanding your circumstances. We want to make sure that our clients have had the best service and an excellent experience. We're here to care for you.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we speak your language.
You're looking at Vidicon Stadium here in Brisbane, Queensland, and you're looking at a huge crowd here on a Saturday night. This is the wrap-up game of the round four-game series, and the Bandits are going for a sweep. They come up in the seventh inning with the 3-1 lead, the 9-1 and 2 hitters. Will Riley leads it off. He's hit the ball sharply both at bats, robbed of a hit on a line drive to the third baseman Acton and singled to center in the fifth. Went to second on a wild pitch and scored on the Milo Rushford single. The Bandits got RBIs back in the second from Taden Hall and Luke Smith. There's a good-looking pitch, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Tokiyama on again for another inning of work. He's been really outstanding in his work thus far.
He got good-looking stuff, doesn't he?
He really does. Got a lot of zip to the fastball, and very typical of Japanese pitchers. Some very, very effective off-speed stuff that he can throw on almost any count and do so effectively.
He's faced 6 hitters and struck out 4 of them.
You know, we talked a lot about the pitching in the last inning and the different, sort of terminology and things that, Jesus.
First base coach, Matt Roxburgh.
I don't know what Will Riley had in between games as a snack, but he has come out absolutely hitting laser beams tonight.
Almost got the first base coach, not quite.
But talk about pitching, and I love watching pitching in the U.S., but watching Japanese pitchers pitch is just, it's such an art form. Jesus, there's another one.
He hangs a curve, and Will Riley is all over it. A leadoff 7th inning single as the Bandits look for some insurance in a 3-1 ball game.
You know, Will Riley would be 3 for 3 if not for an outstanding play from Corey Acton. He is seeing something tonight and hitting absolutely just frozen ropes.
Here's the leadoff man. That's Milo Rushford. He has a single, an RBI, and 3 at-bats, and he takes a ball a bit low. We mentioned Milo's dad, Jim Rutherford, who played in the big leagues briefly. He is one of those fellas that kept sticking it out, swing and a miss. He was 27 years old, playing in 5 seasons out of college in independent ball, Jim Rushford. And finally, at age 27, he got signed by the Brewers. And eventually, in 2002, at age 28, he was then in the Phillies organization, went from the Milwaukee Brewers, Texas Rangers, to the Phillies. And in 2002, the Phillies called him up. He played 23 games, debuting at Wrigley Field, and that was his entire big league career. And it's amazing. He's quite a story, and he's written a book that's available through Amazon, The Pizza Guy Delivers, written by Milo's dad, Jim Rutherford. And I don't have the book, but I will have it eventually. 1 and 2 on Milo here in the 7th inning. And that's a good-looking pitch. So he'll walk back to the dugout, 1 out here in the 7th. His dad, in his college days, was a driver in the offseason in San Diego at Milo's Pizza and Subs. And that's how he named
Hence
his
the name.
son.
Got it.
Son, Milo Rushford, named after a pizza and sub shop in San Diego.
Well, Tokiyama there serving up some sub sandwiches. That was just a blistering fastball painting the outside part of the plate.
Here is Fritsch. He takes a strike. Milo's dad, Jim, later retired from baseball, obviously. Spent a lot of years as a heavy equipment operator in a small town south of Tucson, Arizona. He's going to be quite a guy.
Yeah.
Jim, I'd love to meet him, Jim Rushford. I hope he comes out here. Swing and a foul back, and it's 0 and 2, and as Milo has pointed out often, his dad tries to watch every game and sends him a text every day about baseball and about his hitting.
Well, Jim, if you're watching tonight, and I'm sure you are, contact your travel agent. We'd love to see you out here in Brisbane.
Go to that Tucson airport and head west. And head southwest, and you'll run into Australia. That fastball is tall, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes on Fritsch.
I mean,
Riley's at first with 1 out.
if he heads south and east, he'll get there too. Just take a little longer.
I understand that. I often wonder, from Australia going certain places, which direction you go. Rich up there. Logan Wade on deck. And a foul ground ball into the first base dugout. Look out.
I think Dermot Fritsch nearly finished the job on Wesley Scott in there.
I mentioned it earlier. I once lived in France for a year and rented a home from a couple who lived in Sydney. And they had lived in southern France. And when they would come and show up, which happened a few times while I was there, they would fly from Sydney to Dubai to Marseille. And I'm going, really? Look out. Rich gets out of the way. And I guess if you're going to Europe from here, you gotta go west. You go west.
That's what I was going to say. The way I travel here is I travel east unless I'm going west.
All I know is when you travel to or from, you travel a long way.
You do, yes. There's no short jumps.
Rich up there, 2-2, and he fouls it away. And if you are from the U.S. culture and people talk about traveling and somebody talks about they live on the West Coast and they go, I don't want to go to Hawaii. It's so far. It's a 5-hour flight. It's so far.
Try flying to the longest flight I've been on, single shot flight, was from Hong Kong to South Africa.
Wow.
To Johannesburg, South Africa.
This one popped up off first. Barry over, he's got the room, and he one-hands it to retire Fritsch, and holding it first is Will Riley. Yeah, it's a big world out there, and when you come down here to Australia and you start looking around and think of going other places, you realize just how big the world is and how big the Pacific Ocean is.
It's true. Well, the first time I ever came to Australia, I flew from Macau, which is in South China. Flew from Macau direct into Sydney. That was about a 9.5-hour flight.
Here is Logan Wade, 0 for 3. You're a world traveler. Foul back, 1 strike.
Yeah, I've been around. I lived in Macau for 3 years.
Really?
Yeah. It was an interesting time. We haven't even scratched the surface since I left the U.S.
It's a shame you can't hold.
I've got stories.
Shame you can't hold the job.
I know.
And I might say the same about myself.
Still looking for one. If anybody's hiring.
Logan Wade 0-1. The runner goes. The pitch is a ball, and it's a stolen base for Will Riley. So he's in scoring position with a good man at the plate, Logan Wade, as the Bandits attempt to add to their 3-1 lead.
Last time at the plate, Logan Wade knocked one into center field. Be nice to see him do that again and get that run back for Sam Holland.
That's a strike, a fastball. Riley led off with a single to center. Just a moment ago, stealing second with 2 outs. Battaglia on deck should Wade come through. As the Bandits go for a sweep of this 4-game series, looking for their 5th consecutive win and their 9th win in their last 10 games. Inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. See, I think in the U.S., a long trip is a 3-hour drive.
That is a long trip.
That is a long trip.
That is a long trip. We used to make, when I was a kid, we used to make drives from Portland, Oregon to Coos Bay, Oregon, down on the coast.
I hope there was
about 4.5 hour drive, I think.
I hope there was a lot there in Coos Bay.
Sawmill.
Every town in Oregon, if not still, used to be a timber town.
It did. And they, you know what? They used to have Warehouser was the name of the business. They used to have a big sawmill there in Coos Bay, Oregon. Now it's a casino.
Everything changes. Out at second base, Riley, 2 down, 7th inning, and a full count on the veteran Logan Wade. That's right down the pipe. He's called out on strikes. That's a total of 6 strikeouts for Tokuyama. And it's on to the 8th inning. Believe it or not, already going to the 8th. The Bandits are up 3-1, and you're watching the Australian Baseball League on Baseball Plus.
Great job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Let's go, Archer. Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer!
Beers to the beach.
Thank you, Archer!
They look thirsty down there in the outback, Archer.
Well, I'll be.
Thank you, Archer!
Yeah! Good boy, Archer.
Here is the fifth Bandits pitcher of the night. In a game they've only given up 2 hits and 1 run, yet they're using 5 pitchers, and this is Jae-Sung Han.
Jae-Sung Han, the NC Dino pitcher over from the Korean Baseball League. 8th appearance here for Brisbane. He's got a 6.43 ERA. A lot of those runs came when he pitched down in Adelaide. He's been pretty good his last few outings. Hasn't given up any runs in games against Canberra. On Thursday, he pitched and didn't give up anything against Melbourne. So it's been pretty lights out since that time in Adelaide where he gave up 4.
And if the Bandits can record 6 Canberra outs, the lights will go out.
That's right. They'll be able to break out the brooms and call for the sweep. And that's exactly what I think the Bandits, they go into every series hoping for, a good outcome. But I think they looked at this series here and said, this is an opportunity to get 4 wins against a struggling Canberra squad. Canberra has played well. Their pitching has been really quite good, but the Bandits have just taken advantage of a few miscues and a few mistakes and made sure that they got those runs on the board.
Jalen Greer, the second baseman, leads off. He is the 8th hitter in the order, and he looks at ball 1. Michael Campbell will follow, and then the leadoff hitter, Andrew Moritz. Again, the Bandits looking for the final 6 outs to wrap up this contest. They lead it 3-1. Cavalry 1 run, only 2 hits, a double and a home run. That's all they've had. There's a strike. If the Bandits can hold on and win, they'll run their record to 11-5. And Adelaide idle by rain, the Bandits would be within a half game of the first place Giants. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, and it's a shame too. Melbourne and Adelaide, that would have been a really great series to watch. Unfortunately, both games of their doubleheader today rained out down in West Beach.
So Adelaide is 11-4 with a win here tonight. The Bandits would be 11-5.
Yeah, the way that the Bandits started out, there was a real question of whether or not they would be able to achieve at the level that they have thus far. But all those question marks have certainly been answered emphatically over the past 3 series.
Pretty tall order to come off last season when they went 30-10, 16-4 here at Vidicon Stadium. That was a rather impressive campaign. Swing and a foul back.
It really was, and it was a fantastic thing to be a part of. I don't think that the management here had any sort of delusions of grandeur thinking that it was going to be a similar situation. Not because the Bandits necessarily have gotten worse, but because the rest of the league has simply gotten better.
Yeah, that's what I had heard, that a lot better recruiting, getting more players from major league organizations. And it's great to see the ABL just get better and better and better. It's a sport growing. We have to expose it to as many fans here in Australia as we can. Get them out here to have fun at the ballpark and enjoy what is really a great, great game. This one misses, and the count goes to 3-2. The great American pastime, as it is referred to, baseball. I know fans can say, well, in the United States, it's the National Football League is the real game. I would argue that American football is a great game. Without betting, the National Football League would just be a Sunday afternoon passing of time.
Or fantasy football leagues.
He'll go to first base. That's a walk to Greer, first man that Hahn faces.
And walks have been a little bit of an issue for Hahn so far this season. He has issued 7 of them.
If you joined us late, the starter, Brian Fitzpatrick, was absolutely brilliant. He struck out 9 over 5 innings, cutting out the Cavalry on 1 hit. Here is Michael Campbell, the 37-year-old, in his 7th ABL season. Double play depth on the Brisbane infield and a high fastball. Again, the next time we'll see you on television is the next time you'll have an opportunity to come out to Vidicon Stadium. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, December 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. Melbourne will be here. Swing and a miss. Next weekend, the Bandits will be in Perth.
And I believe they are now broadcasting their games, so hopefully we'll be able to take a look at the Perth team, who have been underwhelming so far this season. I think they're at a record of 5-7 going into tonight.
Yeah, that's all. The only team with a poorer record, of course, is Canberra. Campbell cuts and does not connect. 1-2.
They did play their first game tonight, and that one was a 6-0 victory over the Sydney Blue Sox. So the Perth Heat are now 6-7. The Sydney Blue Sox 6-8 on the season. They do have the second part of the doubleheader, and that'll be kicking off a little bit later on.
Here's the next pitch to Michael Campbell. The runner goes, and the pitch is hit in the air down the left field line. May drop, and it does, but foul. And it's interesting, if you look at the standings for the 6 teams, only 2 teams are above 500. Adelaide and the Bandits. And Melbourne at 7-8, Sydney 6-8, as you said, Perth 6-7, and of course the Cavalry at 3-11.
And that bodes very well for Brisbane. You know, the hope is to remain in that top 4. For Brisbane, being in the number 2 spot would be the preferred thing. That way they get home field advantage for their semifinal series. But as long as they're making that top 4 and being in that position gives them advantage going into the latter part of the season.
Go to first. Back easily is Greer. So all of a sudden here in the 8th inning, the Canberra Cavalry have the potential tying run at the plate. Moritz on deck. Campbell is the batter. 0 for 2 tonight. Jae-Sung Han trying to get an out here, and his breaking ball is down and in. So the count is 2-2.
Not seeing a lot of activity in the Bandits bullpen. Either somebody's ready to go or they are leaving Han in here to try and finish this 8th inning.
He's 3 outs shy of finishing it. Now time is called. Apparently the hitter Campbell wanted time. These fellas better never make the big leagues, because you won't get away with that trick.
No,
not for a minute. You won't. Time, please. I want to take my helmet off and wipe my brow. No. If you want to do that, take a ball. Runner goes, ground ball up the middle. Tough play. Riley throw to first.
Oh, what a play.
Oh, man. Oh, baby. Riley to Hall for out number 1, and Greer, who was on the move, is safe at second base. That's a big league play.
That is, and Greer being on the move, as you said, trying to steal second base, saved that potential double play. But what an outstanding job by Will Riley to track that ball down. First off, to track that ball down that far up the middle, but then to make that good of a strong throw to Taden Hall, and a good work by Taden Hall over there, digging that one out.
Here's the leadoff hitter, Andrew Moritz, 0 for 2 tonight, after going 2 for 4 with a homer in the game this afternoon. Fastball high, ball 1. We have seen some exceptional defensive plays in this contest.
All series long, really.
Yeah. Greer has a pretty good lead at second, and there's a strike. Good fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Interesting way they're playing Moritz here. Look at Taden Hall down there on first base. He's playing back at the cut, but he's only about 5 feet or so, or a couple of meters for you Australians, a couple of meters away from the first baseline. Will Riley playing further up the middle, so there's a huge gap over there on the right side.
1 ball, 2 strikes. That is a very unusual alignment. Hall playing so close to the line. He's a right-handed thrower, so he has his glove on the left side going to the line. I mean, even on a sharp ground ball, he's only got to go a couple of strides and bend down, so I wonder why you would play so close to the line. Obviously, something says that Campbell pulls the ball a lot. He fouls this one away. But if he pulls the ball that much, you would expect the second baseman, Will Riley, to be over closer to the hole.
Exactly. It's an interesting alignment to leave that much of a gap over there, especially with the game, only a 2-run game here.
The third baseman, interestingly, Fritsch, is deep, relatively close to the line, and Wade up the middle now backs off after being behind the runner, and the pitch is high, 2-2.
So the belief must be that Andrew Moritz cannot hit the ball back up the middle of the field. That's
what we haven't seen is the so-called big league shift, which has been outlawed. 3 infielders on the right side. You would think maybe this would be a spot where you would do that. No need. Moritz strikes out, a big second out here in the 8th inning.
That'll go down if the Bandits hold on to win this ball game. That'll go down as probably the biggest strikeout of the game right there. Not a very good pitch from Hahn, but enough to fool Moritz with the high heat.
Min Park digs in. He is 0 for 3 in the doubleheader today. 0 for 6. He has 1 home run in this season. That's a strike. Again, the Cavalry up here in the 8th. They're down to their final 4 outs, but they're only trailing by 2. So Min Park, a potential tying run at the plate against Hahn. That's a good-looking pitch right there. And Hahn has it his way, 0-2. Be interested to see what he does here with Park ahead in the count. Maybe go up the ladder with a fastball. Let's see. Working with a catcher, the veteran, Ryan Battaglia.
Battaglia set up low.
Yeah. Gets a fastball right down the middle and rips it just foul down the right field line. Yeah, the target was down, which made me think breaking pitch. And he throws a fastball up in the, not up in the zone, but certainly not knee high.
No, and it was actually a very good spot there from Jae-Sung Han. He hit where Battaglia wanted it. Not much that Park could do with that. You know, he might get around on a little bit, but probably roll it over if he did. So, you know, hit his spot, good one. Now he set up that breaking pitch low.
0-2. Han trying to record the final out here in the Cavalry 8th inning. 3-1 Brisbane.
Battaglia flashing gang signs down there. Han doesn't like it.
Greer, who led off with a walk, is at second base with 2 away. Han nods, so he is ready to go. Battaglia outside, and the runner goes, and Greer advances a stolen base as the fastball is upstairs. So now the Cavalry with a runner at third, 2 down, and a 1-2 count on Moritz.
At 90 feet, you know, probably feels pretty good for Greer. Makes it a little easier to score, but ultimately, you know, it's going to take a base knock to get him in. With Greer's speed, he's probably scoring from second, irregardless of where that base hit lands.
Taglia with the glove down and the pitch up, and it's fouled away. On a very deliberate worker. Coming on here in the 8th after Fitzpatrick, Walmsley, Scott, and Holland. Scott faced only one hitter and took a drive in the leg and had to depart. Foul back.
Quite the battle we've got going here. Park hanging in there. On throwing just about everything but the kitchen sink.
Min Park trying to get his first hit of this twin bill on this Saturday. Swing and a miss. He got it down finally, and that finishes it off. The second strikeout for Hahn, a walk, and a runner left at third here in the 8th inning. That's 4 runners left on base in this game by the Cavalry. The Bandits will come up in their half of the 8th inning. They have a lead of 3-1, and you're watching the Australian Baseball League on Baseball Plus.
Great job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Let's go, Archer. Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer!
Beers to the beach.
Thank you, Archer!
They look thirsty
Gotcha! Yeah! Good boy, Archer.
Kim.
Going to the bottom of the 8th inning, and we'll see the third Canberra pitcher of the night after Wan Bin Hong and Suma Tokuyama. And the Kids Dash, a big part of the fun and activity here at Vidicon Stadium. Look out.
Oh, good effort there. Diving finish.
You get some casualties, especially. That's a big field on a Saturday night with a big crowd and all the families out and the youngsters, and it becomes quite a race. Can't beat the fun.
And why would you want to?
Yeah, why not? Why not have fun? Here's the first pitch to Battaglia, and it's a ball.
Hyun-Soo Kim on for the Canberra Cavalry. It's his 6th appearance this season. One of the Kia Tigers stars from the KBO. He's gone 11 2/3 so far this season, posts a 5.40 ERA. He's given up 7 earned runs, 10 strikeouts, but 4 walks to go along with that.
Long foul ball. 2-1 on the hitter. Hyun-Soo Kim. Here's a grounder foul back of the dish. So Hong went 4 2/3, allowed 3 runs on 5 hits, walked 2, struck out 3. Tokuyama gave up no runs, 1 hit, and he went 2 2/3. This one fouled away. Tokuyama was pretty impressive. He struck out 6 along the way.
Yeah, he came in a combination of really good movement and a blistering fastball.
Battaglia strikes out leading off here in the 8th inning. Here is Soupy Campbell. He's grounded out and struck out twice. It's been a long, long day for Soupy. He has struck out 5 times and gone 0 for 6 in this day-night doubleheader. This ball hit deep, well tagged. Fullerton back near the track, and he one-hands it. And Campbell is gone. 2 up and 2 down here in the Bandits' 8th inning. In the 9th inning for the Cavalry, it'll be Acton, Azuma, and Fullerton, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters.
Yeah, tough part of that Canberra lineup, but they'll be facing the tough back end of the Brisbane Bandits bullpen. Carter Hope, who only threw to 1 batter in the day game, he'll be on to try and close the door for the Bandits.
Skepton, a swing and a miss. He's 1 out of 6 in the doubleheader. He had an infield single in the 2nd inning of this game. He chops this one foul, finds himself in the hole, 0-2. 3-1 is the score. The Bandits on top. It's the bottom of the 8th. Bases empty. 2 outs. Bandits will be looking for 3 more Cavalry outs to complete the sweep of this 4-game series. This one driven high, deep, right center. Moritz back along with the right fielder Campbell, and he'll haul it in. So Skepton gives it a ride, but it's into the ballpark out in right center field. Not quite enough. 1-2-3 the story in the 8th for the Bandits. The game goes to the 9th inning. The Bandits looking to hold on to a 3-1 lead.
Welcome to Ace Comms, two-way radio and body-worn camera specialists. Ace Comms is proudly the Australian distributor for Motorola Solutions. Ace Comms was formed in 1988 in South Africa and has grown into a premier wireless communications technologies distributor. With a primary focus on Motorola Solutions, we also supply a wide variety of leading radio communications brands. We welcome the opportunity to discuss our partner network opportunity with you. Leverage off the high-demand wireless comms industry and let Ace Comms empower your business to grow.
Yo, up the middle, another base hit. On Sunday, now he banks one to right field. 2. Yo's back. At the track he got it. Pump and the fire. Struck him out swinging.
Brett Sports, the official equipment partner of the Brisbane Bandits.
Well, this crowd hanging in here. It's not over yet. The Bandits need 3 Canberra outs here in the 9th inning. They have a 3-1 lead, trying for this sweep in the 4-game series. And the new pitcher trying to record his 2nd save here on December 9th is Carter Hope.
Hope on for the 8th time, and goes without saying that he is absolutely outstanding. Threw one batter in the day game, comes back in here with a much tighter game ahead of him, but he has yet to give up a run, only a few hits, and has struck out 10 along the way. So if there's anybody who can shut the door on Canberra and finish off this sweep, it is Carter Hope.
The save rule is interesting. It's not really worth reading. It's not that important, but very generally, when a pitcher comes in to close it out to earn a save, he has to have a situation where his team has not more than a 3-run lead. But there's a little asterisk at the end of the rules of a save. If you come into a game and close it out, and the last batter you face, or you come in and the situation could end up in a tie. He had the bases loaded, the batter at the plate could have tied the game, so he got a save to retire that one hitter. And this is clearly a save situation here for Carter Hope. So he's got a chance to get 2 saves in one day. That is not that easy.
Well, it's definitely not easy here. He's got to face Corey Acton, Junpei Azuma, and Harry Fullerton to get those 3 outs.
Acton is 0 for 3. He drives it to left center. That'll get down, played on a bounce by Campbell. And all of a sudden, here in the 9th inning, Canberra will bring up the potential tying run to the plate.
And Junpei Azuma, who has not hit very well in this series in particular, is one of those guys that can do a lot of damage quick. Coming into round 4, he had done some serious damage in his previous series.
The right-handed hitter in the cleanup spot. Hope ready to go. Double play depth on the infield, and there's ball 1. We mentioned it earlier how Azuma's average has dropped in this series. He came in at .363, one of the leading hitters in the league. He's gone 1 for 14, and his average has dropped about 75 points. That is a tough series.
That is a tough series, but, he's come into some extremely good pitching here. Prior to this, he played in Melbourne.
That leadoff single for Acton, only the 3rd Cavalry safety. Back to the mound to second, 1 out on to first. Oh, baby. It's a double play. 1-6-3.
Well, if there's anything that can help a pitcher out of a jam, that's it, a double play. And Carter Hope does it textbook. Great job getting the ball to Logan Wade. And Logan, of course, an expert at turning a double play. So just like that, we're 1 out away from a sweep.
And the man in the way is Harry Fullerton.
You make my trip to 89 fastball.
Fullerton is 1 for 3, one of the 3 hits. And that's a foul ball at home plate. Again, we hope you'll be planning to come out just before Christmas, the next time the Bandits are home. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd of December against the Melbourne Aces. We'll be here. Hope to see you here. Swing and a miss. So, Hope is 1 strike away from closing this one out. Hope, the last 3 years in independent ball, former Royals draft pick, and this one slashed into the netting. Still 2 strikes on Harry Fullerton. Carter Hope, now 28 years of age, was brilliant last season. He's been brilliant this season. That one is wide, and it's 1-2. We mentioned it this afternoon when Hope came in. He still has, and why wouldn't he, hope of getting back with a major league organization and maybe eventually still getting a shot at the big leagues.
Well, if his efforts here in the ABL over the past 2 seasons are an audition, it's been a good one. He's been outstanding this year. He was really very good last year, perhaps only overshadowed by how excellent James Meeker was in the closing role. This year, the role is his, and he has done nothing but make manager Shane Watson look really smart.
2-2 is the count on Fullerton. Bases empty, 2 outs, 9th inning. It's just about over. And that is a ball, and a full count now on Fullerton.
Good take by Fullerton. That is a tough pitch to lay off on that little split finger there from Carter Hope.
Let's see what he throws. 3-2. Strike 3 call, and that ends the ball game. And Carter Hope, brilliant again, gets 1 strikeout in the inning, and he picks up his 2nd save of the day and his 6th save of the season. So how about that? The Bandits here in round 4 sweep all 4 games from the Canberra Cavalry, and the Bandits are now 11-5, only 1/2 game behind the first place Adelaide Giants. Well, you couldn't have asked for any more. We've seen some great baseball and a thrilling victory here in this one before a huge crowd, CJ, at Vidicon Stadium.
Outstanding weekend of baseball yet again. That's 2 in a row for us, Ken. Great hitting, great pitching, great defense, just a lot of fun. And for the Bandits, they really needed to make their mark here and get themselves into a position with their record where they were in a strong place to be able to carry over second place into the new year. They've done that now. Now they can look forward to fighting a very tough team in Perth over in Western Australia.
The Bandits get RBIs here in tonight's game from Tayden Hall, Luke Smith, the newcomer, and Milo Rushford. The winning pitcher is Brian Fitzpatrick. Boy, he was terrific in his 5-inning outing, shutting out the Cavalry on 1 hit. He's 2-1 on the year. Juan Bin Hong, the Cavalry starter, was the loser, 0-3. And as we mentioned, Carter Hope picks up save number 6. Canberra, 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. They leave 4. And the Brisbane Bandits, 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. They leave 6. The crowd enjoying it, the team saluting this great crowd here tonight at Vidicon. Well, we appreciate you tuning in. We always enjoy having you along for the ride. For CJ Barnes, I'm Ken Wilson. Thanks again for joining us. And once again, the final score here in Brisbane, the Brisbane Bandits 3 and the Canberra Cavalry 1.
No matter how you're driving Australia forward, trust Hino to bring you home. Hino, built for tomorrow, delivering today. That's the Hino advantage.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we're all about understanding your circumstances. We want to make sure that our clients have had the best service and an excellent experience. We're here to care for you.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we speak your language.